If you've ever stared up at a T-Rex skeleton in a museum, chances are you've seen a cast of Stan, one of the most complete and oldest T-Rex fossils ever found. You want to see what he looked like alive? Welcome back, time travelers. In this episode, we'll be breathing life into Showanna's 1/15th scale Stan, the Tyrant King. Stan was unearthed in South Dakota in 1987. My iteration of Stan was dug up from a box shipped from China. In 2020, Stan was auctioned off for $31.8 million. My iteration of Stan, fortunately, did not cost me anywhere close to that. After being sold, Stan kind of just disappeared until recently, when it was announced that he would eventually be on display at a museum in Abu Dhabi. I guess I know where I'm going on vacation next. I chose these light blue eyes for Stan because what if Stan was the Ryan Gosling or Brad Pitt of his era? What if Stan was the man, the one all female T-Rexes were swiping right on with their disproportionately small two-fingered hands? Now, whether some of you partake in this willing suspension of disbelief, I doubt anyone would disagree that Stan looks gorgeous with his deep ocean blue eyes. As per usual, I'm practicing paleodentistry, but unlike the dentists we're accustomed to, I'm promoting poor dental hygiene by spraying some dark brown at the base of Stan's teeth, simulating years of unclean, residual, rotten flesh. I guess I probably wouldn't survive as a dentist during prehistoric times. Or survive, period. And finally, this brown wash emphasizes all the nooks and crannies and serves to blend everything together. Now, with all that being done, we're finally ready to sling some paint on this bad boy. Starting off here with a dark wash, just to highlight all the little skin folds, making sure to dab off any excess paint with a little cotton swab. Whatever color scheme you have in mind, it's always good to start with the lighter color, on top of which you can then layer on your darker colors. And so in this case, my lightest color, other than white, is going to be this yellow, a Turner's yellow. And on top of that, I'm layering on shades of brown, and eventually darkening it even more and heading towards the grays. I did have something particular in mind, but as per my usual videos, you'll see that the initial attempt was unsuccessful. And perhaps it can serve as a teaching point for all of you. And so here, after layering on several darker colors, I've started going down the path of darkness into the blacks. And I really wanted to create a black T-Rex. I don't know if any of you have ever visited the Royal Tyrrell Museum in Alberta, Canada, but there's this mural of a T-Rex fossil. It's named Black Beauty because, well, you guessed it, it's black. Its coloration is apparently a result of minerals like manganese that seeped into the bones during fossilization. And I remember seeing it and thinking, how cool would it be to have a black T-Rex? Also, as my one act of patriotism for the day, go check out the Royal Tyrrell Museum. The entrance greets you with this life-size exhibit of an Albertosaur family. It's amazing, guys. But, like I said earlier, there was something in the execution that I just wasn't feeling. I was clearly in denial at this stage as I spun this model kit round and round. thinking my opinion of it would change, but I eventually came to the same conclusion as I'm sure you intelligent time travelers have. Going in circles means you haven't really moved forward at all. However, worry not, as nothing in painting is ever really a waste of time. As Bob Ross used to say, there are only happy accidents. Mind you, truth be told, I was the complete opposite of happy at this point, and I even stepped away from this kit for a couple of days, picking up the pieces of my broken soul. If nothing else though, this incident served the purpose of feeding my Instagram page. Shameless Instagram plug here, follow me before time. Eventually though, I got back on this black beauty of a horse and decided I no longer wanted it to be Black Beauty. Besides, wasn't Stan supposed to be Ryan Gosling or Brad Pitt? I just thought it was important to have continuity in the story of this video. And certainly not that I'm still struggling to make a black paint scheme look organic and lifelike. But also, yeah, that's exactly what happened. On a more serious note, this time around, I erred more on the side of brown tones, which just naturally blend better with yellow, thus leading to a more cohesive paint job. I thought Stan needed some additional adornments, so I painted several horizontal stripes along his neck. Obviously, I did the same on the other side to produce a somewhat symmetrical stand. And just to add a little bit of visual pop, I added these white spots all along these horizontal stripes. And I took these white spots and I kind of dragged them along the back, creating these white stripes, which I then started breaking down with a little bit of brown paint just to push things back a little bit. Now, I was starting to like what I saw, but I still felt that this paint scheme lacked some complexity. And so finally I decided to create these sharper edges for the white along the belly of this T-Rex. Yeah, I think I like this a lot more. Now, similar to what I did for my Ankylosaurus, if you haven't seen that video, click on the link up here. I'm adding a white wash, and I've always found that this is a nice way to highlight scales, especially around the feet. Now, just to add a bit of depth to the white portion of the belly, I'm adding some dark washes just to dirty things up a little bit. And last but not least, we then finished off with the claws, but someone may have forgotten to take footage of that. I won't tell you who. You can all now travel back to your respective eras. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe if you want more paleo goodness. And stay tuned for the next video on the completed heavy kill diorama, where we get to see what happens when the Tyrant King challenges a living tank.